Copyright 2017 Win Your Brand. All rights reserved. This video is subject to copyright owned by Win Your Brand. Any reproduction or republication of all or part of this video is expressly prohibited, unless Win Your Brand has explicitly granted its prior written consent. All other rights reserved.
Okay, so welcome.
I'm just gonna be filming.
So anyone wants to share the experience? Not where you find yourself, but what's your experience of going through a visual meditation, and then you start to write where you'll find yourself in the future. Okay?
I found it very helpful to actually be able to have a plan, set deadlines instead of just having thoughts and things that I would like to do and things that would be nice if it happened, but to actually, be out there and make it happen.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Any other feedback on the experience so far? Okay.
For me, this is like one of the putting together a dream board, or because by setting a goal, it's like, that's great. So what? What are the steps you're going to take to achieve that goal? Going back to what you said in the steps, because I wrote down a lot of goals, but I didn't have a lot of steps.
Okay.
I didn't actually take that time. It was, this is the life I have, but if I don't change something today, how is that life gonna happen?
And what will happen next is you will be able to correlate between the whole 3 days. So for individuals who are not here for the whole sessions, they can just bear with us and figure out what they can get from it. So the following question will be what has been important to you? So if you go to page number 45, what has been important to you in this journey in 10 years in the future?
I have a question.
Yep.
I kind of jumped ahead. So remember.
No, just wait till we jump ahead with you, and we can have the questions. So don't confuse everybody, okay?
But then I can finish them.
No, you have to stay on. You have to stay in the group. So if you go to page 45, you can write down what was important for you in this in this journey. Then you can move and say, who is on this journey with you? And the third question is, what are you doing that fuels your passion? What are you doing that fuels your passion? Then you can follow to page 46 and see what are you working on towards, and what have you accomplished that give you the sense of purpose. And the last question is, where are you heading next? Now what need to happen is the following. You should pick up three colors from the jars in front of you. So just pick up three colors. You should pick up blue, green, and orange.
No, green, orange.
Oh,
Blue, green, and orange. Or any color you call it orange, okay, doesn't matter. Okay.
Sorry, so where we were headed next, was that like in the 10 years then we're headed? Or is it like right now?
Right now.
Okay. Is it blue?
Green and orange. So I want you to go to you can bring this one here because there is one. You should put it here close to her. So what you should go back is you go back to the page 43, and we did the exercise on values, passion, and purpose. That's right. So if you go back and underline or highlight or put a dot under whatever rational to your value, what statement rational to your passion in green, and your purpose in orange. So use these different colors to highlight what was in your journey. So you can use values in blue, passion in green, and purpose is orange. Okay? So go back to page 43 and 44, and you can highlight or put a dot under. Just don't cross the word. So
Yeah, it doesn't work.
you know. So highlight which ones they are in this stage. So we may we just have a guided visualization. So we may do it in a different time. We have the recording immediately. go back to the previous sections. We had the previous sections, right? No, the colored ones, the one from last, the one from yesterday and day before. You described at the end your values, you described at the end your passion,
Yeah.
you described at the end your purpose. So which one of these sentences relate to each one of those?
Oh, okay.
So here you have, for example, your passion 1 and passion 2, that's right?
Yeah.
So which one of these sentences or words you used?
I used the word help a couple of times. We were supposed to change that to something else.
It's up to you, you can use it.
There was a suggestion you had, I think.
Yeah?
Help is free. Help is free.
Right.
So it wasn't assist, but
Work together.
provide,
Empower.
empower. That's what it was.
allow, enable,
Thank you.
teach. And at the end, remember, the fundamental principle of being authentic is to use your own words. So if you want to use these words, you have to practice them so often, so when you say it, it just flows through your mouth. It doesn't come from your brain. Because if somebody will try to use a specific word, you will feel it, that this is not authentic. So
Yeah, there was 3 suggestions, like empower, that's the one.
yeah.
Yes, thank you.
So what are we doing now is we go back to page 43, and you can pick up 3 colors. You highlight values in blue. Remember your values from here.
Right.
Your passion, you have it here. Highlight them in green. Your purpose is in orange. So pick up 3 colors and you go back to the story in page 43 and highlight on each one of them.
It's interesting because passion was one of my values as well. Like, it was number 2. Being passionate about things.
But what are you passionate about? So you have a passion. In the module of passion, we describe like you have a passion for kids, you have a passion for animals, you have a passion for goodwill, you have a passion for green, you have a passion for environment, right? So which ones of these sentences reflect that you fulfill your passion? I always see this as a cross check because we can mimic what we want to do. You can do it. You can say, okay, I'm decided right now to have my passion for anything. And you can do the exercise and you can go through and demonstrate these passions, because this will not be real. The minute you went through a guided visualization and it's just ask a very simple question, write down how you want to look in the future, how you want to be in 10 years from now. So when you write down this information, and I'm happy this time because few occasions we have people who just write like 5 sentences. This time I've seen people like filling the 2 pages. I had a situation where individuals came and asked, this was mainly authors and speakers, they asked to have extra pages as well. You know? So I'm happy that you wrote enough material. And as I always say, you have access to the recording. And the guided visualization got recorded to the videos. So if you want to do this on your own, you are more than welcome. And if you don't want to reuse the same booklet and you want to have a fresh booklet, let me know. I can supply you with a fresh booklet if you like. So the questions to you is now, are all 3 colors balanced? Oh, sorry, before that, did you find any other passion or values that you did not discover before?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you go back and write them where in the other modules?
consistently kind of like what I see. So like I feel I'm in my suit and the GTR and the St. Bernard is next apartment and good friends. Is that more of a value or a purpose? Like those
What
are
was your values here? What was your purpose here?
I wrote adventure and learning. For my
Okay.
passions.
So, yeah, so your passion is adventure and learning, right?
Mhm.
So you have new people here, right?
Mm-hmm. So that's kind of like a mix of both.
This is kind of adventures, right?
Yeah. That's a passion.
Yeah. So do you have the three colors balance?
Kind of.
Yeah.
I call it the orange. Here, I'm working for a big company and doing marketing and brand work. I impact my clients and bringing their brand to life. I call that a purpose. And so I call that a purpose. Yeah.
Bless you.
Actually, one thing that's really interesting.
Yep.
Because under my values,
Okay, sorry about that.
like family wasn't in my top 5
Yeah.
in this visualization. It's like number 1. It is so number 1.
Remember when I shared with you Marcel story? He did this like 7-8 times, and every time he find out different things. So this is a start. Like,
And I've done quite a bit of like working on my vision and that, which I mean that part hasn't changed though. Like what I saw was exactly what.
So is there
But
any
just to
work
really-
similar to this work or different type of work on vision?
The visioning.
Yeah.
In the end, it's the same thing. Like you're coming up with the I am statement,
Okay.
and so you're in it now. We didn't necessarily do like a 10-year timeline, but just if our life was ideal right now, what is it?
Okay.
And so that story has stayed exactly the same.
That's
And-
good.
But I mean, in the vision, like I saw it very clear. Just it was interesting that yesterday family, I mean it was up there, but it didn't even make
Make
the
it
cut
top
of the top 7.
Because maybe yesterday you're not yourself. Maybe yesterday you felt challenged that you wanna do, because sometimes we are concerned to reflect who we are because we wanna make sure we fit with the
Yeah,
group.
I guess it was.
Okay.
So something like that.
And,
I don't know.
Yeah, or just
My
Yeah,
values,
yeah.
courage, enthusiasm,
Okay,
passions also.
So let's just get the group as a group. Now, are you? Anybody need more time? Do you have all colors balanced in your sheet?
Nope.
No. Okay. For people who are here and they extract in the other modules the value and the passion, and did you find new passion? Like I know here there is a new value came out. Did you find new values or new passion that you're not aware of it in the top 5 or the top? Because passion we limit them to 2, values we limit them to 5. That's right. And you define your own purpose. So did you find new ones? So I know here Lil found a new one, and it's not really a new one because we had to limit them to 5. Now you find it as number 1, or you believe it's really
oh,
ranked.
this was like
Yeah, you
number
believe it's
1.
ranked high. Okay, so just to go back to the module of values, and just say the new value I found is so and so.
Oh, it's written in blue in big letters.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Go back to the pink one or here?
You should go back to the same modules of passion and values and modify your information. So I love this particular section of the workbook, and I can tell you, like, somebody gave me the advice to do this like in the 6 hours, so you can go a booklet an hour, and I said this will be torture because you need to have the information settling in your subconscious minds, right? Now, the next step is the activate. So we always document, we distill, and then after distilling we validate, and after validation we activate. So if you go to the last page, which is 48, so the question now is, what kind of activities we can do right now to support our vision 10 years down the road, and how these activities will fulfill our values, our passion, our purpose. So if you find out that you don't have all of them, so which one are you missing?
The value.
The value. So you should identify your values. Second one is you should be able to decide on activities to promote the values of your life, because if you see down the road 10 years you don't have your values, you will not be able to achieve this goal. Does it make sense?
It does, but I'm still confused on what's considered value.
Okay, I will. Okay, so everybody else can start with the activities. I will give him different sheets. So this is the value exercise. So you should eliminate from here. Eliminate
Got it.
what you don't like
Okay.
till you have 5 left. So you keep reading, eliminate, okay? Till you have 5. And then when you have these 5, you should rank them. And after you rank them, you can talk about how much alignment there are. But this is basically the type of values we were doing yesterday. Or sorry, the first day of April. So what kind of activities? 5 favorite activity next to the others.
We wrote activities down earlier.
Did we?
There's activities. Like, what do you like to do?
Oh, right.
Page 34.
Yeah, and yellow.
You know what's really cool about this?
Yeah.
Is I'm doing exactly what I need to be doing right now. Like,
That's good.
and the vision just clarified it, and I feel like I know this is, it's exactly like.
I love it. I love it. I love it. You know, like if you have the confirmation affirmations that you are still, you have to proceed and keep going.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is, and like
I love it.
this workshop is just tying it all together. Those steps that you went over yesterday, I see how it's unfolding, and like it's.
And you know where to start now.
Hmm?
You know where to start
Sorry, where did we?
with the product benefit sheet.
Yeah.
Where did we?
You know where
Yeah.
to start, which
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
yeah.
Purpose
I'm
not
happy
like-
that I was able to serve you. Because you give me my
Oh,
whole.
looking at it.
no,
I am
yeah.
fully fulfilled.
This,
Like
this is
Oh,
just the
okay.
beginning,
I'm happy.
Yeah, because purpose is the whole booklet,
but
but activities
that
are the page 34.
visualization just cemented it.
Yep.
And I was looking for local people to do it because Samantha, who did this one for me from Florida, I was looking for the local people to do it, and I got like Rick Titan and different people, and nobody were able to get, like, there are a couple of things I like to change, but I cannot get hold of her now because she's became more expensive now. But I couldn't figure out anybody locally who can do this because her deep voice, I love it. Like, see.
I have a friend that might be able to help you.
Let's see. I went like through three or four people, like trying to get them to do it, and some of them they do like crush your stress and different meditations, but none of them were able to demonstrate that deep voice. And though I love when she pauses and like he's like amazing. You know, so what kind of activities And when you are ready to share, let's just share some of the activities if you feel is not. Because you know what's the best things we always do when we share activities is somebody else can borrow your activities. Huh?
Yeah, obviously.
You wanna share?
Sure. So my activities I put were volunteering. That has all the values, passions, and purpose. Creating things, same, all values, passions, purpose. Hiking and biking was mainly just values and passions. Traveling was all three, and then barbecues.
Wow. So none related to your businesses, right?
Surprisingly, like the activities in here. Well, no, the volunteering I saw because in my sheet I wrote a lot about how I like give back to junior achievement and to scouts and empower other people with like ideas and brand. So I saw myself as a brand strategist who like.
But you didn't write any of these in the activities. This is my point.
You said you write activities from here.
No, I didn't say write activities from here. I say you write your activities. Who told you to write activities from here?
Well, I was confused, so I kept asking all these questions.
You know?
Okay, so yeah, I see myself volunteering. Well, no, because all these I did see in my story, like volunteering. I saw.
So the activate said, take a look of what you have been documented. Are any of this color short supply? If so, what are you doing that could fulfill those needs? List your 5 favorite activities in the table below. Next to each other, place how you can think among them.
Right.
Okay, so you had your chance. Let's just move on.
Oh.
Somebody else wants to share their activities? Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, well, how I did it was, like what I need to do, so, Lil's own program.
Okay.
So, because there's a lot more to my coaching than just the Q process, which I just realized last night when I was driving back. So,
I'm so glad you got that because I was like, oh.
Okay.
So yeah, Lil's own program, and now how my activities for what I love to do, like that's what I do is I'll go off camping for a few days and then I'll focus on just writing a program or something.
You see what she's doing? She's going camping, and she's going not to go for camping, just to have a peace of mind to write her program. Make sense?
Okay.
Okay.
I will need some clarification after.
My own meditation recordings, we were just talking about that, and I've also been told many times, because when I'm leading meditations, that I have a very soft voice for it. So I never thought about actually doing my own recordings till we just had this conversation. When
Wow.
I said, that
Wow.
you were looking for someone, because it was
Okay.
like, wow, I
Just
could do that.
just
I never thought of
as I can share with you, one suggestion. I always shy to give anybody advice. I don't give advices. But one suggestion here you can do. If you can establish a daily meditation, a daily one, that you can do it on a Zoom or online, and you give it to people to download it, wherever it is, and you start to collect audiences for these meditations, and you keep doing it for like 4 to 6 weeks, you will have lots of tribes coming after it, because they are complementary. It helps them out, right? And you'll be known with it, and this and then it will be logical for people who are there to do what? To see you in person, to come to see you in person. So, and it wouldn't, like 5 to 10 minutes meditations a day is not hard for you to do, because that's
Yeah,
right.
no.
You know, and I can help you with the platform if you are interested in the platforms and how this thing. This is not, it's not crazy technology, and it's not. It doesn't even a cost at all. You can do it, and people can sign up to it and just keep going. Like, you can evolve in this way organically. That's it. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's so many ideas.
No,
yeah.
that's,
But I love individuals who have a passion, and they can help people with this inside inner energy and inner personality. Like it gets me. I love to help, because if you can do it and you impact like a couple of thousand or 10,000 people, And if I help you out, I will feel satisfied because I help 10,000 people to be better by just giving you this extra kick, you know. Anyway, who else wants to share? There, you want to share?
Yeah, I didn't totally read the instructions properly, but I think it'll still work. So my activity, I did go back to page 34 because I listed my activities here that are what I love. So playing games. When I'm playing, and I took all the video games, board games, and everything, and I just put them together in games because it reinforces values for family when we're playing family games. If I'm doing a one-on-one shooter, that's not supporting my values. I'm passionate about them because we all really like to get together as a family to play games, brings us together. Is it fulfilling our purpose? No. It's not going to drive it, our goals and be able to help in the process of playing. Going to the trampoline park, it's family, yes, because I take my daughter and it's something we do together. We're passionate about it. It's not fulfilling a purpose. Playing music, it's not really one of my values, but it is a passion and it can lead towards the purpose if I can make my music generate revenue, passive income, things like that. Water skiing, definitely not aligned with any values because it's a solo kind of thing. You're behind the boat. Although it can be family because after water skiing you have the campfire, music, and family coming together. So it's kind of relatable. I'm passionate about it, but it does not need a purpose. And the number 5 is crafting. Doesn't really need values. I am passionate about it, and I can fulfill our purpose if I'm able to scale up production and start selling things that I create. I'll leave those are the top 5.
Okay. Okay. So we are now at 11 o'clock. So do you like to have like 10 minutes break, or you'd like to keep going?
We can keep going.
I'm okay, keep going, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we did the bathroom break.
Let everybody.
Yeah.
We refilled the hot water.
Okay. So let's keep going. So please go back to your brand promise sheet. Remember this brand promise, the blue sheet.
Yep.
Can you find 1 or 2 actions that you would like? Can you find 1 or 2 actions? Can you add 1 or 2 actions that you should do now? If you have more than 2 actions, please go ahead and write them. So. Can you add 1 or 2 more actions? You can add the action based on the experience of the sheets in the back today. You can add the actions based on the visualization exercise. You can add based on both. And how many of you has at least 5 actions? Okay. So if you don't have 5 actions on your sheet, please feel jealous from the people who have 5 actions and try to okay. Try to figure out some other actions. Okay. Why?
I love your sense of humor.
I don't have sense of humor. I'm just telling the truth.
Right.
I'm jealous. I need to have actions.
Yeah.
And don't do like me. I have the blank actions. Okay, I have 7 blank actions. I'm happy. I have 7.
Don't hear the sense of humor, that's funny.
Right, yeah, I don't have a sense of humor. Right. Mammy would believe you, but this room does not.
Okay.
But you know what? Your secret is safe with us.
Okay, sure. That's good. Oh
My
my God.
thesaurus isn't working very good today. What is it at the end of the day when you kind of do a verbal diary?
Journaling?
Well, it's not journaling specifically. Like when,
Reflection?
yeah, that's it. That's the word I'm looking for.
What's the word?
Reflection. A daily reflection.
Yeah. So I take my wife every couple of weeks or every week, and I go for a meeting, a date, whatever you call it, and I ask the question: what did you like? What you didn't like over the last week or 2 weeks or a month, based on like when we started. I used to do it like weekly. Now we like get to understand better, so we do it like so every 2 weeks or 3 weeks. It's very important if you have a relationship with your business to question your business. If your business like you remember Dee will say like you talk to your business. So it's very important that you reflect on what you do daily or at least every other. Or you know what? In the weekend, like set up the weekend, say, last Monday, last Saturday, last Tuesday, last Wednesday, what happened? You know, if it's recommended to have it daily. And please don't do it when you are in the bed. In the bed, you have to be in the mood for tomorrow. So if you, before you go to sleep in your bed, spend 5 to 10 minutes, think about every single thing you will do it tomorrow, and feel happy about it. And don't believe in any obstacle or any barrier will stop you from getting it. You know, like I'll be like tortured. I'm like, I know I'm extremely tired. I will sleep for so long. I don't do that. It's like, you know what? I feel so tired. However, at 6:30 or 7, I will be up, going to the shower, doing this, be in the car, drive here, grab the coffee, be here. Everything will happen. I'll be here before 8:15. Guess what? Every single day in these 3 days, I was here before 8:15. There was one day I left my home at 7:30 or so. The guys in the coffee place was just so slow. It took me like more than 20 minutes to make up the coffee. That's it. I was here by 8:15. So if you switch your mind before bedtime, what positive will happen to you tomorrow, and you believe in it, it will happen. You believe, and the believe in it is a different story. We can talk about how you can switch your mind or expand in your limiting belief or whatever. There's so many people here in my customer base, they can do it for you if you cannot do it yourself. But you have to be deep inside, believe in it. If you don't believe in it, it will be superficial. You will feel it's fake. It will not happen. That's right. Okay, so each one of you has enough time to write at least one action, at least one check-out date, and one completion date. Do you have an accountability partner right now who can check on these actions?
Yeah, that was the first thing I did on Friday.
Okay.
Find an accountability partner, so that's cool.
And this is what I was about to say. If you don't have accountability partner, grab an image of this activity or text them right now and tell them, can you check back with me on these dates?
Okay.
And I'm going to check that.
You know?
Okay.
We can still check on you, and we can still send you emails. We can still attempt to call you back, but it doesn't work like that, you know? Like, you need to have somebody who is aware. Just tell them, I was in Win Your Brand, I did the brand promise, I have these activities, can you check on me by this completion date to make sure it happens? You appreciate this workshop, as I understand right now. However, it does not impact you if you don't take action. Just apply, take whatever percentage from the learning. And okay, so we are now in the free section. So what do you want to talk about it in the free section?
Free
Section? What's it, Q&A?
No, the free section means we are away from the actual modules, because we have still one more module to go through. But I want to get the other learning. So the way the workshop was going on is you have this formal
Ooh, yeah. Can we?
brand mastery workbook, and we augment in it so much other information, because if you do the brand mastery like in 4 hours, you will not be able to do it. It's just too much on the brain. So what we do is we augment so much other information. So our goal is to help you out. So.
May we talk about the power words and expand our list?
Okay.
You look disappointed.
No, I don't look disappointed. I told you guys, I'm not a well-speaking English guy, okay? This is my third language, is English. I speak French, Arabic, I speak other languages, 7 languages in total, okay? So to corner me in a power word in English is tough, okay?
Okay.
Can I do them in French?
Yes.
No.
So
Or do we want to do question and answer first? And come
we
back?
do know, on the power word, we do know that the idea of the power word is there are words which will conquer or will relate to individuals in a different communities. So, for example, what is the impact for you for the word free? How do you see the word free?
There's no such thing as free. It's almost free in Mexico all the time when you go there. But in my world, yeah, free is, like for mine, free is, yeah.
Any other reflections?
Yes, I feel like for small freedom. Freedom of time.
Yeah, but if I give you something as free, I say, "Okay, this is a free workshop or a free meal."
You asked what came up to me, and what came up to me is freedom of time, freedom,
Okay.
freedom.
So if I come to you and say, "Okay, I would like to invite you to this free meal," how you reflect on this free meal? What's your expectation from the
I
free meal?
would think that I would expect something to be sold. There'll be another layer after that.
Okay. And this is the typical Western Canadian mentality. So this is only in Western Canada. If you go to the US and say, I have a free, especially in Southern US, what will happen?
They line up
Line
out the
up.
They'll
door.
fight
Yeah.
each other to get it.
To
Absolutely.
get it.
Yeah.
Okay? So what do we know? That there are some words and some power words are relevant and rational to where you are. So if you stand in Vegas stage and you sell, or you sell means you take them to the next level in the line, okay?
Right. Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
necessarily sell for money. You just, if you stand there and sell, when you use the word free, people will line up for you. If you give it in Canada, so what is the power word in Western Canada will be?
Bonus?
Bonus?
Not necessary, but we can add bonus here. So what is the other ones?
Complimentary.
Complementary,
Sales.
Gift.
gifted, or gift.
Gift is the
Free of charge.
Free of a charge is a Eastern approach. It's Eastern of Canada approach. So this power word, we know them because we hang around with speakers, and we have speakers in our list where who they go around and practice. Like I told you, like my very first session today was a practice for me because I want to augment some material with this session. You know, the one when he has the videos. When it went really well, we came the second time on yesterday as well, and we had another video. So now I practice specifics. So my workshop here, there is maybe 10-20% of it is for me to learn. Get your feedback on if I do it in this way, what will happen. That's right. So we have connections where we get to see how many will sign up to your programs if you give them free token or free. This is very powerful if you go on the webinar. And if somebody is the webinar where the webinar is provided, this also will have an impact. And if somebody how many of you don't agree on these concepts?
agree with concept.
The concept of when you go to different regions, you should be observing the power words or the
No,
word.
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you don't agree on that, you will go to Disney, and I hope you don't disagree that Disney is the largest producer of movie of all of our time, and you'll find there is specific movies when they went to different places around the world, they have different scenes in it.
Yeah.
So, for example, one time when they went to Europe, they had a different logo for the military. There was, like, I believe, not the Incredible, Monster Inc. and Monster University. When they went to different regions, there are some specifics have been changing because there are some symbols are appreciated by Canadian, but they are forbidden in other countries.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
So there are lots of these activities on YouTube you can watch out. There are people say like, the show is not the same. It doesn't go. The international show was different than the North American show. The European movie was. There's very few things that adapted. So, the idea of having the power word is to observe this kind of information.
Okay.
So when I say power word is after you finish with all of you, like, okay, you finish your guided visualization. That's right. Can you go and augment it with power words? Can you go and change it? So when we say a power word stage means you take your script, your language, and fix it. So what are the other words, the other power words? Because is a very powerful word as well.
Because?
Yes. Because is number one word in compliance. So it was discovered because I did a study and said, okay, these people line up in Xerox on a Xerox lining machine, and somebody came and said, would you allow me to cut in the line? I have 5 copies. 60% say, yeah, you can go. But when they say, would you allow me to cut in the line because I have to make 5 I have 5 copies because I am in a hurry, 94% will allow him. And when he comes and say, will allow me to cut in the line to make 5 copies, because I want to make 5 copies, 93% allow him. So what's the difference between 94 and 93? Almost nothing. You know, like isn't wasn't the error of the experiment. So if you give a reason, you will get compliance. This is powerful. Then there are the other words, like you have great, incredible. This is our awesome. These are power words for what?
A value.
What do they replace? Do you have a good day? Bakri, do you have a good day?
It was a great day.
A great day, you see? So good can be replaced by great, by incredible, by awesome, by super,
Amazing.
by amazing. That's right. So when you look at different topics or different areas, there are lists of these power words. So for example, how many of you here have a website? How many of you will ask people to come up to your website to have sign up? So how you say this? I offer you what?
I just say to check out my website.
So what we use to say is, I offer you a username access only website, or username access only account, or it's a proprietary material protected by password. So when and this everybody here will have, like the VIP in particular, each one will have at certain point a username and password to access the recording of the video. That's right.
Right. Yep.
So these are protected by a password, protected by username.
Exclusivity.
Sorry?
It provides that
It
exclusivity.
provides this exclusivity. So when you wanna get urgency, for example, what words will be an urgency? Is a limited time offer, is limited seating. So you will find here, everything I do is what?
Limited seating. Yeah.
Why is limited seating?
So
Well,
providing
it's a special.
Yeah.
It's a special now, that's right. It's not everybody can take it. Like even in my own banner for the videos, you will always find it's still there. It's limited
Yeah.
time. Okay. Does this cover the power word? So if you have a
And it worked because I remember when I went to sign up because at your Holistic Earth event. Well, I knew I had the concert last night, so that's why I was like, oh no, I can't do it. And then after I just kept going, no, I gotta attend this, And then when I went on, and then it was like, oh my goodness, I hope I didn't miss it.
Yeah.
Because the
and
limited seating, so.
here I'm not overstretching it,
Yeah.
because how many seats
Yeah.
around this table?
Exactly.
Well, but if it were full, right? I mean,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, you can tell me, you brought in some more seats, but however, like
Or you're gonna change.
how many
rooms.
other seats you can fit right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
And
one
if
or
this is
two,
your
that's
same
right.
spot, you don't want to change rooms just to accommodate 2 more seats.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is,
You're not lying, like you're.
yeah, you have to be, when you say the limited time offer, the offer has to change.
Yeah.
When you say it's so you cannot give me a limited time offer for $4.99 or $4.99 to buy, and you say it expire Friday. Friday it has to change.
Yeah.
Higher or lower, it doesn't matter, but it's not $4.99. Like you can make it $3, doesn't matter. But so this is the point I want to say. Like this power word, it has to have a context to use. So when you have your script, when you have your offer, when you have your marketing sheets, you should be able to give it one cycle on power words. I believe we have 3,000 power words
Okay.
somewhere in our portfolio, because our job is to go around and say, okay, like if you want to have urgency, this is how we do. If you want to have persuasion, this is what you do. If you want to do, okay. The alternative way to do power words is to try to add adjective to any noun you have on your list.
Oh, I'm sorry, can you say that again? I
You
zoned
just
out.
figure out adjectives. So you are not a speaker, you are a 25 years speaker. You are not a personal coach, you are an
Copyright 2017 Win Your Brand. All rights reserved. This video is subject to copyright owned by Win Your Brand. Any reproduction or republication of all or part of this video is expressly prohibited, unless Win Your Brand has explicitly granted its prior written consent. All other rights reserved.